My name is Michael Shikatano, and this is Right Here, Right Now, a podcast to inspire the learner inside each of us. In a world that is full of so much information, we will help find and package that information so that you can use it in your lives every day in practical ways. And in each episode, we will remind you of the importance of being present and mindful of your daily thoughts, actions, and interactions. It is truly the most vital step to learning and growth, being mindful and present right here, right now, to take on life's challenges and turn them into life's lessons. So come on this venture with us, a new beginning, a new journey that starts right here, right now. Welcome back, people. I am Michael Shikatano, and this is Right Here, Right Now, a new podcast where we instill in our community of listeners and followers that being present and practicing mindfulness is the only way to truly be able to learn. And from learning comes growth, a true transformation that lasts and positively impacts others. We might experience an evolution of ourselves with this wonderful gift of learning and growth. And today, let's call this a new beginning as we grow and learn, right? It's about new beginnings here today, right here, right now. We're going to start this episode off with a quote. Really, it's a passage. And as I share these and as you come across these quotes, just a little reminder to be present with them when reading them, absorb them, reflect on them, pause, slow yourself down when you read these, when you come across these, when others share them with you. So we're going to take, I thought it was a wonderful thought by a fellow podcaster. He is an author and mindfulness expert. In the season of spring and new beginnings, we're going to reflect on what it means to each of us in this moment, right here, right now, as I read you this passage. It comes from Cory Muscara, and he shares his thought for his followers to ponder, and he does it in text messages. There's various ways that he sends them out. I get them via text message from Cory. He has a wonderful podcast called Practicing Human, where he uses amazing reflections on what we need to do to be better humans, right? Isn't that what life is all about? Trying to be a little better every day, finding ways to be better in each of life's moments, right? Maybe we can be better at savoring the beauty around us, right? As spring blossoms to life, the good things in life. Maybe we can even be better at handling life's challenges, the unexpected obstacles that will come our way, the inevitability of temporary suffering. We must know that life will not always have an easy path, and being a better human, a more mindfully present human that embraces the lessons in our paths, learning and growing, this is what will prepare us for the good and the not so good in our lives. So here is Cory's message to us. Every moment is an opportunity for a fresh start. Yes, one could argue that everything that has preceded this moment has created who you are and how you think. And you still have the capacity to notice the momentum of your life pushing you in a certain direction. Be still and choose a new response. As you wind down the day, see if you can view tomorrow as the beginning of the rest of your life. It was great. The timing of this was great. So a colleague had suggested that I rearrange my scheduled episodes. I was just chatting about some of the upcoming topics. And coming into the week of Easter, I just loved her idea and I jumped on it. And that afternoon is when I received this text message. So, in case I was unsure if this was the right choice, really, to add a new episode in time for Easter and the timing of Easter, this was a nice little reminder from Cory's text message. So, here we are as we celebrate new life, new beginnings in the season of spring. As we celebrate this Easter season, can we maybe reflect on all that it means for all of us right here, right now, right? If we're talking about new beginnings and how to treat life, our lives as a path that we are on, we really should reflect how we can embrace this mindset, a mindset of beginning again, new life. Before we can do this, though, before we're able to shift our mindset and think about each day as a new beginning, we really have to accept that we will be faced with uncertainty, tragedy even, right? If the last few years hasn't really demonstrated that, right? This is one way to live our lives. And I have learned that this is a way to live life more present and more mindful of what we have before suffering the loss, before doing without. We talked last time about scarcity and all about the emotions that it evoked in each of us. So we're accepting our challenges because we have to be able to expect these challenges. I think we're going to be better equipped to handle these moments if we think of life in terms of this. I think it makes us more resilient. So let's try to use that path or the road metaphor. Okay? Go with it, people. Let's see where it takes us. When things are going well, maybe we're like in cruise control. Maybe we're not even paying attention to the road, the path that we're on, right? These days, the cars are so advanced, you don't even need to pay attention too much. It's scary. It rides for you, lots of things going on, and you don't have to do it. But this is where we may get into trouble. I think in our lives, we have to start noticing how we can be better at paying attention, right? To look for and embrace the good times when you're cruising down that road. Look up. Notice the beauty around us, within us, and within those around us. And this, too, will help us prepare for what may be coming along the way, good or not so good. And maybe we're heading down this road and we don't have all that technology to keep us in our lane or hit the brakes when we need it, when we come up against an obstacle on this path, right? It's technology. It's just crazy in the cars. But what do we have to help us navigate? We have each other. But let's not really think about if the challenges come up. Let's not think of those as a detour on our journey, on our road when the challenges arise. I think that mentality makes us think that these things would not have happened to us had we stayed on a different path or took a different path. And I think that's where we get really caught up, is that these detours, if I had only done something different, maybe this wouldn't happen. I think that's what really catches us up. But that path that we know, it was created for us, destined for us, in fact. So it's not a detour. It's not an exit path, an exit ramp from your path. It's your path, the one that you have been on. I'm going to talk a little bit about right now one of the great Roman emperors who practiced Stoicism, Marcus Aurelius, and he wrote to himself in his diary titled Meditations. It's probably one of the great writings on the principles of Stoicism. And he wrote, and I just love this quote from his Meditations: "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." I'll repeat that. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. This quote has captivated me and lured me into the study of Stoicism, along with the incredible Ryan Holiday. He's one of my favorites. I definitely will have an episode dedicated to the study of Stoicism and all that Stoicism and Ryan Holiday has taught me. So when bad things happen, when things that maybe we're not expecting happen, when we face challenges, we have to realize that maybe there's a better way of looking at the challenge, right? So maybe it's not a detour. Maybe, when you're just cruising and everything's going well and 3 lanes merge into one in like a quarter of a mile, and where everything just kind of gets slowed down and backed up. Maybe that's life's challenges. Let's look at it that way. It's still on our path, the path that we are destined to be on, but let the challenges, let them slow you down. That's what they do, right? But keep your head up. Look for the lesson on your journey. I am positive if you look for something good while everything is getting bogged down and maybe not going the way you thought it should have gone, keep your head up, right? You're driving here, people. You're on this path. Keep your head up. Maybe you'll ask yourself, how? Not how is this happening to me? As sort of like oh no, this is the end. This is something terrible, terrible, terrible. Maybe how am I going to be better because of this? How am I going to look really hard to find a lesson? And going back to Cory's quote, he did not say choose a new path. He specifically writes to us, you still have the capacity to notice the momentum of your life pushing you in a certain direction. Be still and choose a new response. We're on the same path, destined for us, coming to realize that these events were meant to be. My wife always says that everything happens for a reason. I love that. We have to look for those reasons, right? In the good and the not so good, the triumphs and the challenges. And the only thing we can control is how we respond. And this is what Marcus Aurelius told himself, right? The impediment to action advances action. This one takes a while and some deep thought to understand. I know it did for me. He's telling himself, remember, he's writing to himself that the challenges that we face will come. We must look for the lesson, because finding a way to be a better person because of our challenges is surely the only way we can overcome them, learn from them, grow from them. So this is the shift in the mindset that will help us cope, to help us be more resilient. And it will allow us to be more present and mindful and paying attention to how we respond. And know that you're not alone on this journey. You have your family, your friends, maybe your colleagues, your faith to help guide you and support you. And then you'll overcome that lesson. Maybe you'll be able to share that lesson or what you learned when you might be in a situation where you can help others, right? And that's what happens when we slow down. Sometimes we're slowing down in the middle of traffic and we're getting a little bit agitated, thinking about where we need to be and where we're going to maybe be late, but let's just slow down, think and reflect, be mindful, be present, because you know what's going to happen. The lanes are going to open up on that path, on your path. Things are going to feel a little more free, a little bit more flowing. And this is our new beginning, right? That's your new beginning where you're going a little bit more smoothly along. And maybe you're cruising again, mindfully though this time. Not on cruise control, mindfully. going through life. And we're not going to forget about that merge and that bottleneck that's behind you. Let's ponder on it. Look for what it taught us. Carry it with you. Take the lesson forward with you. And again, even better, let's think about what you might be able to share with someone else to help them on their journey, along their path. So what's happening in these new beginnings all around us? Every step of the way, right? Cory says that's a new beginning every day. You might have a few new beginnings each day. What's happening right now in the season of Easter and spring? A new beginning, right? The challenge is met, the sacrifices are made, and we face the challenge. We learn from the challenge, and we begin again after slowing down, pausing, reflecting, being mindfully present. We take these lessons and we're able to become better human beings in our new beginning. So I went to a church service this morning. It's Pastor Doug. He's an amazing soul that I've become close with over the years. We started coaching baseball together and then came back into our lives just last year. And we're going to probably have him on a future podcast episode. I'd love to have him on. I was actually thinking he may be an amazing first guest on Right Here, Right Now. So Pastor Doug is the pastor at Living Word Church on Long Island. And his message on Palm Sunday was so very meaningful. Actually, all of his messages, really listening to him, they are truly amazing. They're so inspirational and thought-provoking, and it's almost impossible to not be mindful and present and really just leaning on every word that he is sharing with us. And even the songs chosen struck me this week. The theme of the message was to not fear your relationship with Jesus. And through humility, we can all be better people, better worshipers of God, better followers of God. And the quote that I was humbled by was this. And Pastor Doug shared, "The humble heart of Jesus draws us close and makes us humble." And Pastor Doug went on to discuss how we can all be better Christians, followers of Jesus, by emulating the humble heart of Jesus. You know, it's so easy to get caught up in the moment and our egos take over, and it's difficult to control that, right? When we have an opportunity maybe to be right and prove it, or we might have a situation where we can blast someone, as Doug put it, or to just win the argument for the sake of winning the argument, right? Being right. Stop. Just stop. Humility is required of us to be better followers and worshipers of Jesus, and to be better leaders, to set a better example. And it sounds so simple, humility, right? But its power is vastly underestimated. Its utility for learning and growth is often overlooked. People don't waste time pointing fingers to blame someone for your challenges. Have humility in your heart. Let's learn the lessons right here that we must learn on our journey. Let humility be in your heart right now and allow you to be open to the lessons that we all need to learn on our path, on our journey. Let's take these lessons and start anew, humbly moving down your path on your new beginning. And we know that being mindful and present is key. And we will be better human beings when we do this right here, right now. Thank you all for joining us. I wish you all a blessed new beginning today, tomorrow, whenever you need it, people. I wish you a happy Easter, happy spring, happy Passover, whatever you celebrate this time of year. Let your new beginnings come in a mindful and present way, right here, right now. Thank you. See you next time, guys. We will post links to Cory Muscara's website and podcast. Give it a try. We'll put it in the description for this episode. And we will also post a link to Living Word Church, where you can catch Doug share his inspirational messages every week. Thank you all again. See you next time, right here, right now. Join us next week as we talk humor, people. In our last episode, we embraced the power of a smile. Next week, we'll demonstrate the power that humor and levity can bring to your work life and your personal life. We'll review an incredible book by Dr. Jennifer Aker and Naomi Bagdonas called Humor Seriously: Why Humor is a Secret Weapon in Business and Life. We'll dive into the benefits of humor and dispel some of the myths and revel in the mystique of this artful form of leadership and human connection. I look forward to sharing with you. Be present and be mindful, people, right here, right now. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time, right here, right now.